Hello! Happy Burr Months! Happy Friday! Welcome to Off the
Hawak
Record
hawak
with
na hawak
Migs.
talaga yung
Oo, kasi
mic.
singing voice na tayo. Christmas songs na tayo. Welcome, hello, hello. Welcome to Off the Record with Migs.
And Cheska, and yes, it is. It's the first Friday of the Burr months already.
Yes. Kung meron lang akong boses, kumanta na ako. Pero wala.
Oh my
So hanggang
gosh.
forma lang tayo. Hanggang Japorms
Okay.
lang
Kaya
tayo.
pala, kaya pala nakakapit ka na sa mic. But
Yes,
yes,
yes.
hello. The weekend is about to begin. And of course, napakarami na naman nangyayari sa mundo ng sports nowadays. Wow, so many
Yeah.
headlines.
Yeah, so many headlines. Actually, pagsapit nga ng Burr Months, no? Actually, ano pa to eh, third week of September pa lang. Mainit-init na. Tapos hanggang ngayon, papasok din ng September, mainit pa rin. Dahil syempre, pero bago po natin discuss ang sports headlines ngayon, Off the Record is now on ABS-CBN Sports. Marami pong salamat. Medyo makailang weeks na rin tayo nandito. Thank you so much for joining us here on Off the Record. And of course, follow at ABS-CBN Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay, so for our guest tonight, nakita na naman ng art card pero bago natin siya
Yes.
papasukin, nag-aayos lang siya ng konti. Some tech stuff, but she's
Yes.
here. Just a few minutes, just discussing the sports headlines. Mainit-init po, San Miguel defeated TNT 114-96 to extend the series and the best stewards in sports and in basketball, Game 7. Game 7 on Sunday.
This
And
is
yeah.
yes. I'm assuming this is at the Smart Arena Club?
Araneta,
Tama?
most
Yeah.
likely, yeah, most
Most likely.
Araneta, most likely, but we'll
Okay.
have to double check. Jason Castro was out today due to injury. Natapakan niya yung paa kasi ni Marshall Lassiter nung game 5. Tapos si
Mhm.
Mikey Williams only was held to 2 points. And
Oh,
Simon
wow.
Enciso, Marshall Lassiter, and CJ Perez, both, 3 of them actually scored in 20 points apiece. Actually, sobrang daming breaking news today. Medyo naloka tayo
Medyo
sa...
marami nga.
Medyo marami. Nagsusulat tayo ng mga balita kanina. Biglang mga 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, papasok ang mga balita. Ito naman, nalang ko before lunch. Matthew Wright is headed
Yes.
to the B League.
Yes.
Okay, so nagpaalam naman siya ng maayos. They had a good parting naman ng kanyang dating team na Phoenix Super LPG Fuel Masters. At ito, na-research ko, ang kanyang bagong team, Kyoto Hanaris. Kyoto Hanaris. Basta it is a B-League team. Kasi Hanaryz eh. So,
Baka Hanaris.
baka Hanaris. So, most likely. Basta sa Kyoto-based.
Yes.
And in-announce po ito ng Instagram account ng team na si Matthew Wright ay maglalaro para sa club team. At marami-rami. Coach Ye.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
There.
Yeah.
Speaking of parting ways, Coach
Yeah.
Yeng.
Coach Yeng.
I was not gonna. I only heard of it when I saw Kevin's post.
Right.
Kevin Alas posted a tribute to Coach Yeng, saying that Coach Yeng had always treated him and Selena like family, and of course, the kinintay din ni Coach Yeng si Kevin through the ACLs and everything. So yun na nga yung gratitude ni Kevin towards Coach Yeng, and then wherever Coach Yeng is going, I mean, we already know the kind of caliber he brings to the game, the kind of coach he is, the kind of person he is. So, all the best to Coach Yeng.
All the best. And binrake nga ito kanina ng ating mga friends from the local sports media. Tingnan na lang po ang kanilang mga articles. At actually, ito medyo days ago pa naman to. Mga the other day, Team PH buo na sa 2022 ASEAN Grand Prix. It will be still the Creamline Cool Smasher score that will be representing the Philippines. Pero magbabalik na si Risa Sato, ang kanilang middle blocker. And unfortunately, Liza Valdez is still recovering from her... Nagka-dengue kasi siya eh. So get well soon, Lai. Pero para po sa volleyball fans, sobrang... Kahit 6th place finish lang yon, proud ang Pilipinas kasi lumaban sila all the way. Actually, itong mga sinasabi ko sa iyo, Cheska, parang yung chronological order to from earliest, from latest, sinunod-sunod na natin. Actually, pagising pa lang po dito sa Pilipinas, itong breaking news sa mundo ng basketball, Donovan Mitchell is headed to the Cleveland Cavaliers. For multiple trades. So maraming mga pupunta siya ng Cavs, may mga pupunta ng Jazz. So nabalitaan na po yan, binrake po yan kanina ng mga insiders sa NBA. At marami pang balita, Ivy Lacsina, NU Lady Bulldogs forgoes her
Yes.
final year and will play for the F2 Cargo Movers. And for tonight, ito na po. So
Ito na.
sana po,
So
nanamnam po
we
ninyo
got
yung mga
we
sports
got the
headlines.
headlines out of the
We got
way.
the headlines out of
Updated
the
na
way.
lahat. Good job.
Updated
All
na
right,
lahat.
let's go.
All right, so we'll do that. So, well, I guess we'll do that for our future, for if that's okay, no? Parang
Yes.
banter-banter lang konti, discuss lang. Kung meron po kayong mga thoughts and comments, ilagay na lang po yan sa ating Facebook, sa ating YouTube comment section. And for tonight, pag-uusapan na po natin, wala po sa mga sports na mga napag-usapan natin dahil ito, lumalaki ang following, lumalaki ang community, lumalaki ang clout. Actually, whether if it's online or offline, marami mga nahilig nito, especially during pandemic. And we actually have a Filipina who represented the country in the, okay, let's get this right, UCI Mountain Bike World Championships. All
The
right.
first Filipina cyclist to
First,
join.
yes, first Filipina cyclist to join. And we're glad that she's back here in the Philippines after spending a couple of days in ano natin sa kanya, Cheska. Baka alam mo rin yung
Yes.
pronunciation, yung syudad, kung nasan man siya. Hindi, kasi madaling sabihin, pero baka mas maganda sabihin in French. Okay, in French. She did her competition in France, and introducing to you guys Ariana Evangelista. Hi, Ariana.
Hi everyone. Hi Migs and hi Cheska. Good evening and thank you so much for having me in your show.
Thank
Okay.
you for joining us. And my goodness, making history as the first Filipina to join the this really prestigious world champs. And first off, Ariana, tell us about your journey.
Actually, it's the competition was held in Leger, France. So it's
Yon.
actually
Leger.
yun.
Leger.
Leger.
Okay. Leger. Okay, Leger.
And
Kasi yung
that
spelling kasi les gets eh. Pero French tayo,
yeah,
like
I
Leger. Leger.
I know it's quite difficult talaga to pronounce French words. Like the spelling is very different than compared to how it's pronounced. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to
Go ahead.
really know it. Yes. But then again, yung Leger, it's actually a ski resort. So I did not like realize that the area was quite elevated. So me, when I went there in France, I went alone and it's an opportunity that I wouldn't want to miss because joining the World Championships, it's the most prestigious, or if not, one of the most prestigious mountain bike races there is because maybe the first one is the Olympics. I mean, Olympics is Olympics, but for a yearly event, for mountain biking, it would be the World Championships because when you win it, you are entitled to wear the world champion title and the world champion jersey for 1 year. So everyone, the best of the best, joins that event. And even though that I did not have a team with me or no one with me, really, just really me who went there in France, I'm really grateful to have like proceeded with that travel and opportunity because like I said, I wouldn't want to miss racing with the world's best.
Okay. Ariana, tatanungin natin, no, syempre para sa ating mga viewers na nanonood ngayon ng live, o makakanood man nito in the future, maybe mamaya o bukas, na want to get to know more about mountain bike and the specialty of the sport. Paano
Yes.
ba to pinaghahandaan? Paano ba maka-qualify dito? Paano ba sumali sa mga ganitong mga klaseng kompetisyon?
Yes, I would just like to give a brief background of what I do on a daily basis. Like mountain biking or cycling per se has already been my profession right now, and I train 6 times a week, about 4 to 5 hours in a day. And there are days where I train twice a day, like bike in the morning and gym in the afternoon. And for example, I'm also a member of the national team, and to get into the national to the world championships, you have to like receive an invitation from UCI that they're allowing you to participate. And luckily, one of my close friends from our NSA, which is Phil Cycling, was able to get me an invitation. And even though that everything happened so fast, so it's very, what do you call this, biglaan. That's why we weren't able to submit papers to PSC. To the Phil Cycling wasn't able to submit more papers to PSC for me to get my funding. But luckily, I have very, very great, very awesome sponsors. So my private sponsors were the ones who paid for my accommodation, my airfare, and that's why I was still able to go in France despite being alone. And cycling, I mean, if you're able to try cycling, it's not really an easy sport, especially for mountain biking, because who would have thought, like, when you go in the mountains, you can go down your bike with the rock gardens and stairs, and then you can jump and then fly with your mountain bike. And those are the things that people aren't really aware of right now, because they see cycling as a way of commuting or just biking around the village. But there's more to it. There's more to the sport. And me, as a little girl, a Filipina who really wants mountain biking to grow more, because it really changed my life. And I really hope to be an inspiration to a lot of Filipinos that cycling has a future. Because, like, for me, my height is 5'1". I'm not tall, but I'm able to really excel in this sport because I have the right people with me. And it's really, I really believe, and I really want to, that there's a really bright future for Philippine cycling. And there are really a lot of talented cyclists.
I'm glad Ariana brought up a few points. Number one, most people, syempre, like when we're kids, we have our little bikes, diba? We just bike around.
Exactly. It's like
everywhere.
Exactly. It's like our toy, like ever since we were kids. So I believe that a lot of people can relate to biking talaga.
Yes. And then obviously when we get older, biking turns into a form of transportation. And we saw that boom, especially over the pandemic. Na
Exactly.
yun na nga, dumami na yung bumili ng bicycles. But more commonly, mas road bikes yung nakikita natin.
I beg to disagree.
Yeah.
I beg to
mountain
disagree.
bikes?
The mountain bike is more in a way that it's more comfortable to ride on, and that in any terrain you can really use your mountain bike. So
Ayun.
maybe we have this assumption or this thing happening right now that when people use mountain biking, they still use it as a means of commuting. Because number one, when you buy a mountain bike, it can go as cheap as 3,000 or something. So it's the kind of bike that's really cheap. So there's still more mountain bikes compared to road bikes, but you can use mountain bikes on the road.
So basically Ariana, yung mga nahihilig sa bike, magmo-multipurpose na rin pala.
Oo.
Eh di magbabike na rin ako, magte-trail na rin ako.
Oo. Hindi,
Para sulit.
So yun yung
Yes.
distinction niya nung road bike tsaka ng mountain bike. Because obviously, yung the wheels of the road bike, the tires of the road bike
Are very thin.
Yes.
Yes.
So hindi siya pwede. Iba. So that's why mas madali naman talaga, yun na nga, like with mountain bike kasi pwede kang dual purpose eh.
Yeah, anywhere.
Yes.
Anywhere.
to get into trail riding, mountain biking, that's an entirely different experience. Kasi yun yung
for
tipong have you ever tried, Migs, trail mountain biking?
Once or twice. Pero ano lang, basic
Where?
trail lang. Basic trail. Sa Philinvest
Where is
lang.
that?
Sa Philinvest.
Yeah, great.
Nag-try lang ako.
Yeah.
Yes. Best friend ko kasi mahilig sa bike eh. As in, nagba-mountain bike din siya eh.
Yung pinakamasarap
That's
doon is yung
good.
kakain kayo after kasi gutom na kayo.
Ayun, oo.
I'm
Yun.
an advocate of that as well. Whatever makes you feel good, but as long as you get involved into biking, I'm good for it.
And
Kung
then,
yung kainan yun, edi mag-bike ka na.
yes.
Diba?
And then Ariana brought up another excellent point because marami din na deter from mountain biking or even just road, because yun na nga, people have this misconception na mahal. But I mean, honestly, there are really expensive bikes out there. May mga sobrang mahal naman talaga. But to start, yung mga beginner bikes, yung mga people who just casually want to get into it first. Ariana brought this up. Na there are comparatively inexpensive bikes that you can find.
Yes.
So for you, Ariana, pag may isang tao na gustong, yun na nga, nakikita yung mga nagbibisikleta sa daan, na parang I kind of want to try that. What's your step-by-step siguro to encourage people to get into biking?
Correct. For me, of course, it's better to get an equipment that's gonna last long. But like I mentioned earlier, like as cheap as 3,000 or maybe 2,500, you can get a mountain bike. And I'd really highly suggest if you're a newbie, like you have no cycling background at all, it's better to get a mountain bike because you can go anywhere, and the geometry is very comfortable. Because, for example, when you buy a road bike, it's after buying a road bike, it's better to do a bike fit. It means that you have to measure your body. That's better for the bike that you bought, because it's gonna help you ride better and to avoid any injuries in the future, because road bikes are more sensitive in terms of feeling. But for mountain bike, when you buy it, you can just sit on it and then use it on the road already. And I started with a very cheap bike as well, and luckily, like right now, since it's my profession, I'm very blessed with my sponsors. So I just have a bike that I did not pay for, but I'm really glad that they supported me. They believe in my talent and my capabilities. So I'm really grateful for them. And of course, when you are able to buy a bike, what I really suggest is to buy safety gears. I know I see a lot of cyclists on the road that they don't use helmets, or they're wearing slippers, or using clothes that are not for workout, but for me, safety is a really big priority, because we only have one life, and investing on good safety equipment can really prevent you from having severe injuries. And what else? For me, it would be surrounding yourself with with people who can really help you get better, because me in my journey, I was not alone the whole time, and I'm just really surrounded with fun and very supportive people. That's why I'm here today. It really takes a village to improve, and I'm really grateful for them. And for me, cycling in general, not just mountain biking, any discipline from cycling, it's there for the long run, because it's very sustainable. So for me, it's my job. Like, I get to compete with it and then go abroad, go to places, meet a lot of people. But on the other side, you can make a lot of friends, go on an adventure. And honestly, me, my reward as well after a hard training day is good food. So, ano din ako, in it for the food. Like, I'm not joking, dude. Like, I really love food. Emphasis on the food. Because it's something relatable. Alam mo yun, you
Yes.
wanna
And
eat
you burn
soft
so
drinks.
much. You
Yeah,
burn
exactly.
so many
Oh my gosh.
calories when you
Oh my
bike.
gosh. Can I just say, guys, that for me, I easily get fat, but I ride hard so I can eat hard.
Ayun. Ride hard, eat hard.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
slogan, Ride hard, eat hard.
Yeah, but
Yes.
because I know a lot of people go on a diet, but I did that before. I had different kinds of diet, but nothing is very sustainable. Like, it makes you feel like you're deprived from food, and we have already all sorts of stress in our life. And so that's why I'm not on a diet right now, but I do eat in right amounts, but at least I get to eat whatever I want.
That's
And
true.
then I just really train hard so that I can burn more calories and eat more food that I like.
Nice. Okay. So, teka, baka mawili tayo sa usapang pagkain, guys, eh. Weekend pa man din. We can go on and on about
Sorry.
food. Hindi. Okay lang. Okay yan. Kasi that's the true essence of the community, cycling community also in the country. Para I don't think if you were to excel in something, like especially in an individual sport, you can't really do it alone. We've
Oh,
talked to
for
so many
sure.
individual athletes like karate, si EJ Obiena, Paul Volter, nobody does it alone. Talagang meron ka talagang
For
team
sure.
and supporters. Pero mapunta tayo dito, babalik tayo dito sa iyong competition. Can you tell us more about it? Of course, you mentioned that you competed alone. We see it on your Instagram posts. And more or less your experience, ano bang klaseng competition yung mga nandun? At basically, main takeaways of the whole experience.
Okay, can I first the first thing I'd like to mention is that the trails in Europe are totally different from the ones here in Asia. And when I rode the UCI World Champs track in Leger, I don't think that there's an XC track the same as that here in the Philippines. So it definitely overwhelmed me a lot, because there were so many big rocks and a lot of route sections that I was not used to. That's why I like on Monday I'm gonna talk to my Spanish coach regarding on how I can improve my skills even more. And then that the racetrack was at like a little bit of a high elevation. And I didn't know that, for example, one of the Southeast Asian countries who participated, like Malaysia, they were there for 2 months already. So I was like,
Wow.
oh, lucky. Yeah, lucky for them that they at least they got used to the elevation because it's really hard to breathe, especially that during my race, like after a lap, it kind of hit me being able to not being able to breathe properly. Like my legs felt good, like my
Right.
engine felt good, but my lungs were hurting because it's trying to get more air. And it's not something I'm really used to. And I know that a lot of people told me that I should have been there for at least 2 weeks. But it's an opportunity that we weren't able to prepare well for. But I really just made do of what I had. And luckily, I had a couple, like for example, as well, that whenever I do track read a race course, I like having people with me to teach me the lines because on a mountain bike race track, there's so many different lines to go through. And for example, if there's like a rock garden section or a jump section, I'd like for people to be there just in case I fall so someone can catch me because falling down really hurts. And
Oh.
when I was there, when I was there, I was just really alone. So my most of my fears, like I know they went out, even though I tried to tell myself it's gonna be okay, but I got there Tuesday. The main event was on Sunday, so I believe that I did not have the time to get hurt or injured just to go to Europe and not start because I made a mistake during practice. So, but hopefully next time I'll have more people with me so that someone can catch me if I try out
Oo.
a very difficult section because even the best of the best, they do stumble on the racetrack. Like during practice days, I saw a lot of them crashed and some were really bad. Like most of them had like black like bruises on their faces. And I know that and I'm happy that I went home as a whole.
Hindi,
But
totoo yun.
it's
Legit
really
yun.
Oo.
Legit yun. Legit yun. It's a definite risk. Diba, Ariana?
that's the thing about mountain biking. It's not like your other sports that are very how can I say it? It's very unpredictable. Like your
Yun.
equipment alone can be your sort of mistake, like an RD issue, a flat tire, if you crash, something like that. It can really make or break your race. And cycling, it's an endurance sport. Our event, it's an hour and a half. So a lot can happen in an hour and a half. Like I've seen races that the leader, like for me, for example, what happened to me on 2019 SEA Games. My race was 5 laps, and I was leading for the first 4 laps already. Like I think I had about 2 minutes, a 2 minute lead. But going towards my fifth lap, I made an error. I crashed, and I did not finish. So
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like that could really happen in mountain biking. It's a really risky sport. That's why for me, being able to go there and finish it even though I was pulled out. Pulled out doesn't mean you're DNF. It's a rule in UCI to pull out the 80% time of the leader so that it won't get traffic. So you're still a finisher. So even though I got pulled out and all, I'm just really grateful that I did my best and I was able to race with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. All right. All right. Sorry. Actually, kailangan ko lang itong tanungin. If I'm not mistaken, Aria, you come from a family of cyclists. If I'm not mistaken. Tama ba?
Well, I refuse to to
Okay.
answer
Okay.
that
Okay. Okay. Okay.
because
Sorry. Pardon the
sorry.
question. Okay.
It's
Sige.
okay.
Sige. Okay. Sige. Sige. Let's go. Yung pa naman yung tatanungin ko pero sige, transition na tayo. Okay lang. Ito na tayo. Ito na tayo. Ito na
Sorry.
tayo. Fast break round na tayo. Fast break round. Okay na.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my
Fast
gosh,
break
ano
round.
yan?
It's
Hindi.
just
Relax lang to. Relax
we
lang
we
to.
throw out a
Akala ko
question the
parang
first
kay Boy
thing.
Abunda. Ayun nga.
Medyo. Pero sports related.
Sports
Sports
related naman.
related.
Yes.
Sports related.
Okay,
Sports
okay.
related. Okay. 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 Sige, anyway,
Okay.
so we'll just ask you your example, favorite something, and then pwede
All
mo lang siya
right.
sagutin in a
Sige.
fast way.
Fast.
Sige,
Okay. Whatever
fast
comes
way.
in mind.
Whatever comes in mind. O, ito muna, favorite practice drill or exercise.
Jumps? Oh my gosh, tama ba yun?
Oo!
Practice drill? Like
Oo,
on the
parang
bike.
kapag sa mga
On your
training
bike,
mo,
yeah.
on your bike, yeah.
Well, sorry, it's sprints for me.
Sprint.
Sprints.
That's your
Sprints, yes.
favorite?
Because I know,
Timed
I
yun,
mean,
timed.
timed, yes. Timed,
Okay.
and I prefer doing it on uphills because it's harder. And for me, like getting used to getting used to suffering a lot is what's better for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ito, next. Ooh. Favorite trail to ride?
Locally, it would be La Mesa Nature Reserve Trails.
Ah.
Okay.
You guys should try
Lamesa.
that, I swear. It's also newbie friendly, and if you wanna, as you improve, you can do harder rides there. It's in Quezon City, Novaliches, Quezon City. So it's good.
Mm,
Ah. Okay.
okay.
Ooh, this one.
Dream Trail.
Ah,
Napunta mo na ba?
Dream Trail.
Yeah.
No, not yet. I think it would be, I mean, any trail in the US because the birthplace of mountain biking is there. And I know actually anywhere in Europe or in the US, there's a lot of gnarly mountain bike trails that any for me would be fine as long as I get to experience it. But US is on the main, on the top of the list.
Okay.
Okay. Bucket list. Bucket list.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Best thing about biking or cycling or mountain biking.
For me, it's adventure. Being able to go on an adventure every time because even when you go to a place where you've been to already, when you ride on a mountain bike, it's different. Especially on a trail because the trails are always change, especially when a rock moves or when it suddenly rains. It's really different. So the best thing about mountain biking for me, I'm a very outdoor person. I'm always on an adventure when I'm on my bike, and it's very life changing.
All right. Ooh, this one though, I'm curious. Do you listen to music when you ride? What's your best hype song?
During the ride, I don't really like to listen to music
Mm.
because I try to
Yeah.
like focus on the present. Like I try to keep my mind blank most of the time so that I can notice everything around me. But whenever I do warm ups, I do listen to songs just to really hype me up. And I made a champion playlist on my Spotify. It's named Playlist because the lyrics there are so good that it keeps you motivated and hyped up.
Pump, pump up. Champ
Yes.
playlist.
Yeah,
Masa-search ba
yeah,
namin yan?
man.
Masa-search ko ba yan? Wag na.
Shy
Okay
lang
lang yung
ako.
maraming mga
But yeah, you
maraming
can.
maraming mga basketball player kami na interview, Swiftie sila. Oh, so
Oh.
bakit hindi?
Ayoko na.
Oo.
For me, Swifties, I love Taylor Swift. I've been a fan of her since as long as I can remember. But her songs are sad, and I
Ah.
saw something on TikTok that it says, "Be careful of what you listen to because the way you sing it, you put it out on the universe, and you potentially you may attract what you sing." That's why
Oh.
I'm really
Okay.
careful with the things that I watch, with the things that I listen to, because I'm a very what do you call that? Like I'm an empath and I really feel emotions. So if you're sad, I really feel that. And for me, I want to be happy. So it's all about feeling good for me. That's why I made a champion.
Champ playlist. Baka makita ko yan. So, wala kang takas.
Baka,
Hahanapin.
yeah.
Search
You
ko
just,
yan.
yeah.
Hanapin natin yan. Okay. Ito baka naman
Okay.
nasabi mo na kanina when it comes to some safety or like mga risks. Pero baka matanong na rin natin specifically.
Ah.
Worst thing about
Oh,
biking.
for sure, it's crashing, guys. Like, we
Yeah.
cannot avoid having accidents, but you can be more aware of your surroundings, especially me that I tend to bike solo, like when
Mhm.
I'm training, and then it made me super aware of the things around me. Like, I really look left and right a lot. And for me, what's important is communicating with the people around you, especially for motorists. Like, don't be don't be lazy in raising your hand, saying stop, or saying thank you, because what we lack in this road is really communication. And to be safe on the road, we just really need to communicate more and what do you call this? Give more to the people around us. So like I said earlier, you better to have safety equipment, helmets, and all, just to prevent you from having a very bad trauma. Like for me, honestly, I already died. They told me that I already died because I joined the race and then my head hit the a rock or something. I don't remember anything because I had like a slight amnesia because of it. And then my competitor revived me. So stuff like that happens, but it wasn't an accident that made me stop biking. Like I really wanted to overcome it, and I'm glad I did because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here today.
Wait lang.
Wow.
Wait lang. Para sa aming mga first time kang nai-interview, nakikita, or sa mga first time na tama ba? You already died?
Yeah, I
Considered?
stopped breathing. Yeah, but luckily kasi the girl behind me, she's part of the army. So she knows CPR and stuff. And then when I woke up, I was punching everyone and then I suddenly slept again. I don't remember anything. Like the only part I remembered, I woke up in a stretcher. And then I already had like a neck brace and then my right leg was all black and stuff. And
Wait,
then
wait
after
lang. Sino nag-declare na, Ariana, you were considered like this already?
Clinically.
Clinically.
I did not get into the details even more because I have no idea. Yeah, it
Okay.
was really
Wow.
May
bad.
nagsabi lang sa'yo na parang, o baka naman figure of speech lang yun. Di naman.
I have no idea really, but the girl
But,
just really revived me because when she checked me, I wasn't breathing.
Oh, wow.
oh, wow.
Like for a brief moment, I guess. I'm not so sure, but that's
Sorry.
what I remember.
Iba kasi yun sa unconscious. Yung unconscious na walang malay, maririnig mo
Yeah,
humihinga pa.
you're still breathing. Pero yung talagang hindi
Oh,
ka na wow.
wow.
Yeah, I wasn't breathing. It was weird.
Wait lang
It's funny that I'm just laughing it off.
Na-shock kami. Pero wow. In our years, I don't know, Cheska, if in your years in
This is a
sports,
first. This is a
this is the
first.
first.
Yeah.
Me too. In my,
Talaga. But yeah,
yeah.
for me, I mean, for those who are watching, I suggest that you don't get discouraged because it could not happen to you. But for me, you shouldn't let your fears weigh you down. And as easy as even sleeping, people die in their sleep and they're just in their house. So for me, maybe I guess what I can say it wasn't my day to die yet. No joke lang. Oh my
Parang
God.
Die Another Day. Parang James Bond James Bond ka pala.
Ayaw
Wow.
pa ako kunin ni Lord, basically.
Uy, story yun
Wow.
Wow. Story
Oh
yun.
my gosh, that was so funny.
Mukha
I'm
namin
sorry. It's
And to
okay.
talk
I'll
about it
move on.
casually. To talk about casually. Oh guys, namatay na nga ako eh. Namatay na nga. Binuhay lang ulit ako eh. Wala lang. Pero the fact that she can talk
Wow.
about it like that now, ibig sabihin
Yeah.
medyo, kailan ba yun, Ariana? Tatanungin natin.
I think I was 14 or 15 at that
Ah.
time. I was really young.
Wow.
How many
Now
years ago?
25.
Estimate? Mga 10 years ago.
9 to
Tagal-tagal
10
na.
years ago.
9
Oh
to 10
yeah,
years
yeah.
ago.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think anything else we ask can top that story.
Yeah. Parang, yun na ba yung most
Okay na.
memorable career highlight? Yun ba yun?
Again naman.
Hindi, sige, transition.
Hindi nga
What is
most
your...
memorable kasi hindi niya maalala.
Pwede. Ito, Ariana, ito na lang. Most memorable career highlight. Yan.
My most memorable career highlight would be the Tokyo 2020 test event race because I really want to be able to participate in the Olympics. And last 2018 or 2019, I got invited to join the Tokyo test race. So I was able to ride the Tokyo racetrack for MTB and I was able to race alongside my idols again. So like me participating in the J, it wasn't my first time to see them, but in the Tokyo test event, it was really memorable because I really wanted to be in the Olympics. Sadly, pandemic happened because 2020, like I was supposed to travel a lot more so that I could get UCI points to really qualify for the Olympics, but pandemic happened, so I wasn't able to really push through my dream. But at least I get to feel what it would have felt like if I really did make it in the Olympics. So hopefully by Paris 2024, I can like go for qualifying again. So I'm really praying that by next year, 2023, I could join the UCI World Cup MTB series like for a whole year just so that I can get a lot more points and really gain much better experience when it comes to the European trails because the 2024 Olympics will be held in Paris. So I was just there in France So
Wow, oh
it's like
my.
a
I'm
good
just coming
it's
back,
like a
guys.
good
I've been
yeah,
here,
yeah.
I've been here,
So it's like a good feeling to be there last week. That's why I really pray for that to happen.
All
All right.
right. Okay.
Eto naman.
Ato, to wrap up our fast break round with Ariana, if you weren't a mountain biker, what would you be?
I guess I would have gone for anything that's related to arts. Let's say either music or dance. Because aside from mountain biking, I have my passion for singing and dancing. Although I'm not really like good at it and that I didn't have any training. But I love music. I love to sing. And maybe I guess that's something I would have studied for if I did not become a cyclist.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Ariana Evangelista, right here
Thank
on Off the
you.
Record.
Thank
First
Thank you,
you.
Filipina
Ariana.
to join the UCI Mountain Bike Championship saan ulit?
The J.
Leger,
The
Leger,
J.
Leger, France. Okay, pero before we let you go, Ariana, baka meron kang message sa followers mo, to the community. Pwede kang shoutout. Go ahead.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone who supported me, especially when I went to France. I know I went there alone, but I didn't feel alone at all because I have you at my back, like I swear. I didn't feel lonely at all. And of course, to my family, kina mama, and what do you call this? To my friends, especially to those training partners of mine who have been with me all like most of the time because they wanna make me stronger, even though they kept me like in pain. But I really love them, and of course my sponsors talaga because they make things possible. They really support me in this journey of mine, and of course the fans because honestly Filipinos are really great fans. Like they're really different. But when I went there in France as well, Europeans are also different. So I really have a great support system. I have great friends and all. I have a great village, and my like I said, like my growth is their growth, and my accomplishments are theirs as well. So I'm really grateful for them, and thank you for having me tonight.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
so much for
Thank you so
joining us
much.
on Off the Record, Ariana.
Thank
Ariana,
you.
mag-picture muna tayo. Ay, de. Ariana, mag-extra lang kami ni Cheska and then I'll ask something off air. That's okay.
Go.
Yes,
All
okay,
right.
okay. Kasi,
Sure
alright, sige.
thing.
Para, nandito na tayo eh. Nandito na tayo. So we can talk to you. Alright, thank you so much, Ariana.
Okay. Good
Okay. See
night.
you in a bit. See you in a bit. See you in a bit. All right.
Okay.
Sige. All right. So thank you guys. So of course that was Ariana Evangelista. Fun chat with her. And para po sa cycling community sana po and para po sa ating mga viewers marami tayong natutunan tonight. For your guest requests, please do message Off the Record Mix Cheska on Facebook and Instagram for your daily sports updates and habits. Follow ABS-CBN Sports on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, OTR airs Tuesdays and Fridays 9 p.m. So once again, happy weekend, kapamilya. This has
Happy
been Off the
weekend.
Record. This has been Off the Record with Migs.
And Cheska, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Happy
Bye.
weekend.